Are you sick of distractions ruling your day? You start off strong, making real progress until BAM! That notification grabs your attention. Hours fly by, and by the end of the day, you're wondering why nothing productive actually got done. Now, we live in a time where distractions are literally at our fingertips. From social media, email notifications, endless texts, and if you're a bit naughty, adult entertainment. Each one pulling our focus away from what truly matters. And while these distractions might seem harmless in the moment, they slowly but steadily sabotage our productivity and leave us feeling unfulfilled and unaccomplished. Now in this video, I'll be sharing with you some strategies that I use to stay focused throughout the day. Now let's get into the video. It all starts from you. Most people think that distractions are external, but the thing is that what most people don't really know about is that 90% of your distractions are actually internal. According to Nir Eyal, the author of the book Indistractable, he talks about the fact that all distractions stem from a psychological avoidance of uncomfortable feelings. Now, these feelings include feelings of loneliness, boredom, uncertainty, insecurity, and fatigue. Now, take for example, you have an assignment with a looming deadline, and while you're engaged in that assignment, you begin to have feelings of uncertainty of whether you are actually going to do well in that project. And while those feelings fester within, suddenly a notification pops up, and in your bid to actually avoid those negative feelings of uncertainty and anxiety, you could find yourself reaching out for the first distraction that pops up to avoid those feelings. Or you could be sitting in your room alone and the impulse to binge watch 1000 episodes of One Piece pops up, and you spend your whole day, or rather days, binge watching 1000 episodes of One Piece. Don't judge. Now, when you take the time to discover these feelings, be it boredom, loneliness, uncertainty, or fatigue, and address them, you will discover that most of the distractions that you face are actually not distractions at all. It's just your mind crying for attention or avoidance of certain issues that are going on in your life. And identifying these feelings for what they are, you are less likely to find yourself falling into the clutches of distractions that may arise based on the presence of these feelings.
And guys, if you're getting a ton of value from this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm. Now let's continue.
Now, the next thing that really helps me to avoid distractions is accepting that you cannot beat the algorithm. Now, not everyone on the planet is blessed with superhuman levels of willpower, and some of us are not fortunate enough to have a mind that has the mental toughness of diamonds. And if you are, and you happen to watch this video, please share your secrets in the comments below, because I would also like to learn. But if you're like the rest of us who actually have some slip-ups here and there with TikTok or Instagram, I actually discovered something that helps me to actually alleviate this. Sometimes I actually tend to deceive myself that 5 minutes of scrolling won't hurt, and I'm just going to limit it to 5 minutes until 5 minutes becomes 10 minutes and 10 minutes spills into an hour. And what I use to actually bring me back on track is right before I scroll, I think about the fact that the algorithm has been trained by billions of data sets from millions of individuals, and it's been so enhanced to the point that I don't know if you have this feeling, but it's almost like it knows exactly what you're thinking, and you are trying to battle a contraption that has the arsenal of billions and of data sets to draw from, and it actually could, with almost pinpoint accuracy, know the exact video that is going to hook you, that would actually grab and hold your attention. I know this sounds a bit weird, but when I think about that fact, it actually tends to stop me dead on my tracks and gives me the willpower to stop the app and do something more productive. For those of us that have seen the movie Divergent, it's almost like the scene where Tris breaks out of the fear mental stimulation, and how she actually does it is when she realizes the fact that it's actually not real. I mean, it's kind of like a bit different, but I mean, the concept is still there. It's the mental realization or accepting of a fact. The next point is to create a to-do list. There's a really interesting quote by Nir Eyal which says, "Forethought is the antidote to impulsivity." Having a to-do list for your day helps you think about your day and actually gives it the required forethought to reduce the odds of you doing something crazy, like binging 1000 episodes of anime. Because when you already have something planned, you actually have a good excuse to say no to distractions that may occur. It might even be something good, but when you have something great planned, you have a good excuse to still say no to the good thing and focus on the great thing instead. Now, to create a to-do list, you could actually do it on a piece of paper, you could do it on your notes app, or you could do it to apps that are specifically designed for to-do lists. Personally, I like to use the app called Microsoft To Do to organize my day and create goals focus on what I want to achieve in that day, which then leads to the next point, which is time blocking. Now, this point actually connects with the previous point of to-do list, because time blocking is basically you using the calendar and carving out time within your day for a particular activity or task. When you create to-do lists, you could actually fall into the trap of writing a lot of things down that are not actually humanly possible, but you may not know it's not possible until you actually go and look at your calendar and look at the hours that you have within the day, and then you realize that, okay, doing all of these things are not actually possible. So basically, time blocking helps you to marry reality with your expectations. And one thing that I've discovered to really help me in time blocking is, for my to-do list, I pick a task that, if completed, will make other tasks seem irrelevant. Basically, the most important thing for the day, and then basically focus on that thing until it's done, and I move to the next task that is important, because most times we tend to overestimate what we can actually accomplish in a day and underestimate what we can accomplish within the month, within the week, and even within the year. Now, having this one thing that you want to complete within the day helps you to slowly but steadily accomplish the tasks that are most important to you, which leads us to the next point, which is the Pomodoro technique. In my previous video, I actually made a reference to this technique. It's basically when, instead of looking at time in hours, you look at time in tomatoes. I know it sounds a bit funny, but the word Pomodoro is actually the Italian word for tomato. And what this does is that it actually helps you to gamify your time and also reduces the odds that you procrastinate on things that are important to you. Like, take for example, filming this video. I was going to procrastinate. What actually helped me to not procrastinate in filming this video was because I actually just thought about, okay, I'm going to use 2 Pomodoros to make this video. It sounds a bit funny, but it actually reduced the difficulty of thinking that I was going to spend an hour filming a video. Okay, this is a bit TMI, but technically right now, this is about 2 hours. Now, the thing is that the Pomodoro technique actually helps you to break the mental barrier of actually starting the task. And when you actually start the task, you actually end up flowing. Like now, I've been filming for almost 2 hours and I'm not even tired, which is crazy. But getting myself to start was actually the hardest part of filming this video. Which then leads us to the next point: control your environment. Your environment can actually make or break your focus. Given the times that we live in, we spend a majority of our time digitally. And if you want to ensure that you are focused throughout the day, you need to find ways to actually limit your phone's hold on your attention. Now, personally, when I try to focus on things on my time block, there is an app feature that I have on my phone, which is the focus mode. It actually helps to block apps that is within the list of apps that are to be blocked when it's on. Now, this actually helps me to prevent distractions from occurring within my day that would hamper my level of productivity on things that needs to get done. Now, another thing that also I actually find to help is also controlling my browsing environment. Now, when I really need to get things done, I actually have a separate browser that I use to only focus on that thing. Because what I've realized is that when I use my normal Chrome browser, I find it very distracting sometimes, because I don't know about you, but I have a lot of tabs open, like a lot. And it's super easy to just fall into a rabbit hole from just one click. And that's why I'm usually forced to have a separate profile for when I really need to do things that require a high level of focus. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, I think you're gonna love this video about how you can become an action-oriented person. And like always, guys, remember, always keep it real. Bye, guys.